What's going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Right now, we have 11 people watching right now. We have 12 thumbs up. Smash the like button if you don't mind. Thank you so much. And we do have a couple of people here in the chat. We have Captain Balzic says, here in Argentina, we are going through a cultural war very similar to the one that you endured there in the United States. And Mary Vidalis is here. Bam. Now the music will get you hype. Yes, it will. Sebastian Nocturne, evening. Thank you so much. We have a lot to talk about here. A lot to talk about. And we may have some special guests here joining us shortly. So stay tuned for that. If you're watching, please drop your name in the chat. Let me know where you're listening from. And we will just pretty much just get jumping right into this news. This has been very crazy. Hollywood is just full of lunatics, full of just so many SJWs. It is crazy. A movie can't just be a movie anymore. It has to be a woke movie. Now, why did this start? Why did Hollywood become so woke? Why is that? We don't really know. We've seen it happen to Star Wars. Star Wars has really gotten woke, starting with The Force Awakens, and it got even more woke after that. And the wokeness just doesn't pay off. Nobody's interested in that stuff. Now, the Marvels, they've done a very good job of not going down that path. But however, lately, it looks like it's going to happen with Captain Marvel. It really is. I mean, even Batman now may be going woke. If you haven't heard Army Hammer's comments, check out Road Rants on Star Wars video. He just put it up. He is extremely woke. Extremely woke. So check out Road Rants on Star Wars video. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. And I just don't know where Hollywood went wrong. I really don't. I mean, do you guys enjoy SJW politics in every single movie? Every single movie has to be about representation. I mean, even First Man got some criticism because there wasn't enough diversity in that movie. First Man, I didn't particularly like the movie, but First Man, one of the criticisms was too many white men in that movie. You know what? The astronauts that went on the moon, they were white men. It's just the way it was. It was a biographic film. Now, if you're going to do a biographic film, you want to be factually true to the actual events and the people. And the first man that landed on the moon was a white man, just the way it is. Now, Brie Larson, she doesn't care about the opinion of men. She particularly said she doesn't care about the opinion of white men. And now she is backtracking on that. Now, why did she start backtracking on that? Did Kevin Feige step in and say something? He probably did. He probably said, Brie, look, you're destroying our movie, And apparently she's supposed to have a big role in Avengers Endgame. And I don't want to see Avengers Endgame get woke and destroy the MCU. I want Avengers Endgame to go out on a very high note. Very high note. And before I forget, Star Wars Theory also has a new channel. It's called Marvel Theory. He hasn't posted any videos yet, but he will. If you love his Star Wars stuff, I'm willing to bet he's going to deliver on his Marvel stuff as well. So all you got to do is just look in YouTube, Marvel Theory, and you'll see it. It doesn't have an avatar or anything yet. He's still building all that, but make sure you check it out and subscribe to Star Wars Theories, Marvel Theory. So, with that said, back on the topic here. This is not good. This is not good. This is not setting a good precedent for movies going forward the next 5 years. If this keeps going like this, then you're going to see identity politics take over the movies before the story is even developed. You know, when George Lucas was writing Star Wars back in 1976, I don't think he was thinking, you know what? I have to get more women into this story. He wasn't even thinking, I need white men, because I don't know if you know this or not, but Luke Skywalker wasn't going to be a human. He initially was just going to be like a green alien, you know? But early in the story, George Lucas wasn't thinking about, male, female, white, black, whatever. I mean, Luke was going to be a green alien. Can you imagine Luke Skywalker as a green alien now? I really can't. I really, really can't. And it's destroying Star Wars. It looks like the end of this phase of the MCU is going to go down on a negative note. I'm not happy about this. And I actually do like the MCU movies a lot better than the Disney Star Wars movies. But man, this is unprecedented. Why would you destroy your movie before its release? Now, Rian Johnson, as much as bad stuff as he said, he never started attacking fans until after the movie was released, after people were started saying we don't like the movie. Right now, the movie Captain Marvel is not even released. And she's going off on the attack on who she wants and doesn't want to see this movie. What made Hollywood get so crazy like this? Crazy. I mean, there's even word now that, Terminator 6 may be going down that way too. Even James Cameron actually said that, he's glad to see, strong female representation now in Terminator. Like, dude, you created one of the best strong female characters ever in Sarah Connor. I don't think when James Cameron was initially thinking of Terminator that he was thinking, you know what, we got to get a woman in here. And actually, Terminator is all about, the machines, John Connor, Sarah Connor. It's not about let's get women into this just to please the NPC SJW agenda. But I hope Terminator 6 doesn't go down that road because I'm a huge Terminator fan. But if you even look at the picture, we haven't seen any men. We haven't even seen Arnold yet in any official pictures of Terminator. We don't even know who John Connor is in Terminator. But we do know the two new female characters that nobody knows about, nobody cares about right now because we haven't seen them. This is really, really getting out of hand. So, Spinal Tap says, I thought Brie Larson was great in White Chicks. She was in that? I never saw the movie. I've heard of the movie, but I don't know. I mean, everything is just so crazy right now. I was actually looking on YouTube before I went live, and I was just scrolling down, and it popped up Aerosmith's late 1980s song "Dude Looks Like a Lady" showed up, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? There is no way in the world that song would get made today. Just imagine. Tell me in the chat, what do you think would happen to Aerosmith if they actually release "Dude Looks Like a Lady" in 2019? what would happen to Aerosmith? I think they would be called all kind of names. They would be called transphobic and all of this other stuff if they actually came out with that song today. I mean, this is just how crazy things are. A song can't be a song, a movie can't be a movie, lyrics can't be lyrics. I mean, Mary Poppins is being called, racist for blackface because Mary Poppins and this other guy in the chimney, they come out and they have smoke and smoke on that face, and SJWs are calling that blackface. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So the Christian Watchman says, question, is the Rodecaster Pro working with this live stream? Oh, you know that I have the Rodecaster Pro? Yes, it is working with this live stream. I have the noise gate going, everything. This Rodecaster Pro is amazing. If you want to change your live streams, I got the link to the description for Amazon on this. Check it out. This thing is a game changer. It really, really is. I really, really enjoy this, But Brie Larson, the joke is on you. Yeah. Kristen Washington, thank you. I want to buy one, but want to make sure it works with live streaming. Yeah, this thing is really designed for live streaming. It really, really is. And you can change out the sounds and everything for it. So, yeah. And Roseran says harmless when it comes to dude looks like a lady. Yeah, we know it's harmless, but NPCs, SJWs don't know that it's harmless. Everything is offensive. I can walk down the street. I can wear Air Jordans, and NPCs and SJWs are going to say, why are you wearing those? That's offensive. That's racist. There's some poor, hungry kids somewhere in Asia making these shoes for free and slavery and all that. And I'm like, really? Almost all the clothes that you wear are pretty much made in Asia. What you going to do? Walk around naked? So just crazy. Just absolute bunch of nut jobs out there. Really, really is. So crazy. We have 20 people watching right now. 18 thumbs up. Thank you so much. Man. What is going to happen next with the MCU? The MCU has a new phase of what's happening. And we have Lord Callis here. He says, what's up, all? Hey, Lord Callis, you want to join in on this? I would like to have a conversation about this. I can send you the link here. And if you want to join in, you can feel free to actually join in on the show. Give me just a second here. And I'm really, really getting frustrated with all of this. I really am. I mean, it's just that bad. It's that bad right now, guys. I am really at a loss right now as to what is going through their heads. What actually caused all of this? That's what I can't get through my head. I really, really can't. And hold on a second. Give me a second here. I'm having a little trouble here with why is this thing not? Okay. Oh, copy email address. There we go. And okay, there we go. I just sent the link out here. So if you want to join in, feel free to join in, because I think this is going to take several people to really, kind of get a good conversation on this. And Rhodes, whenever you can join in too. All right. Okay, where was I now? Brad Walter says, I think we're about to enter a period of excellent film and TV. Once the SJWs are defeated, companies will look for new creative ways to tell a great story. The tides are turning on the SJWs. I hope so. I really, really hope so. Because this really, really has to stop. You know, I'm always, when a movie is actually getting made, getting developed, I'm always thinking, you know, story first. Get your story down first, then develop a great script. And then from there, worry about casting. Then you get the cast in, you know. I'm never I'm not interested in forced diversity. And I think Brie Larson is pretty much making up a bunch of stuff anyway, you know. She complains about, you know, white men, but yet the head of Disney is a white man. The head of Marvel Studios is a white man. So is she calling them racist? Is she? She's she pretty much is saying that, you know, and she's alienating men. And guess what? The majority of people that actually watch these Marvel movies are going to be men. I mean, it's not women, you know. Look at your demographics, you know. Look, when I look at my YouTube analytics say that the majority of people that watch my videos are actually men. And it's pretty much true.
YouTube analytics say that the majority of
I see Lord Callis is here. Don't forget to turn off your camera.
Yeah, I'm looking at you right now. Oh man.
And Doll Show says, sorry, fellas, can't stay. Want to make a like. Have a great stream, John. Thank you so much, Dog. And you can check out Dog later on, 7:30. He has a show on his channel. I think that is Eastern Standard Time. So probably like an hour. So check out the Dog Show. So just let me know when you all set, Lord Callis.
I'm good. Yeah.
Oh, you ready? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what is your opinion on this? Because this has really been bothering me for the last few days. You know, the whole Captain Marvel thing, the whole Hollywood thing. This has just been building up over years and years. So where do you really stand on this?
It's weird. For me, I'm kind of on I ride this on the middle too, man. I don't listen to everything that's going on. So when there's been so much uproar about what Brie has said, I haven't even read anything that she said, any of the comments that she's made, because I don't want that to taint my view of the movie. I truly do try to separate the two. And I know that could be, you know, I could be at fault for doing that, but it's just something that I've tried to do. And so all of the uproar when we have these two different viewpoints, where we have the SJW viewpoint, or this toxicity viewpoint, I think that we've come to a point that it's just so overused. And an SJW, a social justice warrior, should not be a term that's painted negatively, and yet it has been. Somebody who fights for social justice should be viewed as somebody that's good. I mean, your John Kennedys, your well, through Robert Kennedy, really, but your Martin Luther Kings, your Gandhis, these are social justice warriors. These were people who fought for this cause. And what we have now is completely different. It's and then we have the toxicity on the other side. That's just I just think that everything has been blown so out of proportion, and it's being used as a way to keep us divided. I don't know, man. It's just it's crazy. The whole thing is truly crazy.
Yeah, I will.
And then it bleeds its way into pop culture and our everyday life.
Yeah, I mean, the whole social justice thing shouldn't really be implemented into our entertainment. But
Yeah,
the true definition of a social justice warrior, I'll get you. You know, Dr. Martin Luther King, he was in for social justice. And that was a good thing
exactly.
because he actually believed in this stuff. John F. Kennedy, same way. He believed, in making a
Exactly.
change. The difference is social justice warriors actually don't really believe what they're saying. Like Army Hammer came out and basically said that, it's basically like racist to be like a white male, and like all white males, him as a white male, it's like, like all of them are like racist. I can't think of the exact words he said, but it was just so crazy. I was thinking, there is no way that a person just being white thinks that they are absolutely racist just for being white. That's exactly what he was saying. That makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Yeah. See, I didn't even hear that. I didn't even
Yeah,
listen to it.
that's new stuff right there. I mean, you should be glad that you don't listen to that stuff because it can, kind of lead you away from, the product. And Army Hammer, in case you don't know, he's in the running to be Batman. And Rhodes actually, he just joined us just now. Rhodes is on the stream now. He actually did a video on that, so he can probably clarify that a little bit better because he did more research than that on me, and he can tell you exactly what he said. So, Rhodes, there.
What are we talking about?
We were talking about Army Hammer and his words that he actually said, because I was actually I was explaining to Lori Callis that he said Lori Callis doesn't really listen to the outside stuff, so it doesn't taint his movies. And he was saying that, like Dr. Martin Luther King, he was all for social justice. John F. Kennedy, yes. But I was telling him that a social justice warrior doesn't actually believe in the stuff that they're saying, So that's the difference between the two, So can you kind of explain what's going on with Army Hammer and kind of give your take on the whole thing?
He did an interview with the Independent, and he literally come out and proclaimed, straight white men to be basically the enemy of the state.
I mean, he believes that either.
I don't believe that either, but he said it. And I mean, it was pretty surprising. And then he was talking about privilege, and he equated privilege to, well, I'm sitting here at this desk and I've got my feet up, and all the while that I've got my feet up relaxing, I need to understand that this is white privilege. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that was kind of wild to me,
Okay, so he means to tell me, I'm sorry to interrupt, but he means to tell me that a poor white person that's on government assistance and can barely eat has white privilege.
Right.
That makes no sense.
Well, and I even said in my video, I own a labor business. I get up every morning and I feel like I've been hit by a damn truck. Okay. And I was like, man, I'm barely walking to the bathroom sometimes. And that just doesn't seem, I don't feel that privileged right now. Okay. I'm killing myself out there.
Well, me as a black man, I get to walk into an office. I have my own office at work. I don't do any manual labor. I sit at a computer all day. So is that white privilege to me, even though I'm not white?
Right. Yeah. It's just, it's the Hollywood thing right now. I mean, it is complete space cadets wackadoo, like just they're saying things that I know there's no way in hell they could possibly really and truly, in the back of their mind, if you peel back all the layers of being an idiot, they don't believe this shit. Okay. But their Hollywood bubble is such that they get a bump. Okay. They get a bump from a social standpoint in Hollywood for talking all this shit, right?
Right.
But the problem is they're going to end up really, really hurting themselves. While I was doing research for that, one of the things that I researched was the Oscars, right? Which is tonight.
Oh, it is. I didn't even know. 'Cause I'm out on the Oscars.
Yeah, it's tonight. And you know, the Oscars ratings has been plummeting ever since they really, really started political statements on it. You know, that's been a trend about the last, 4 or 5 years, maybe. It really has gotten bad.
Yeah, that's about right.
And basically now ABC is having to guarantee sponsors for the first time ever that they're going to get a certain amount of viewers. And they've got to build that into their ad rates now, whereas they never did. You understand the Oscars used to be like one of the top 5 shows of the year. Okay. And all these, your beer companies and all these companies, Chevy, the car companies used to come out for it. And now it's no longer an automatic sale for these companies to advertise on the Oscars. And that's because of the political message. As you know, so many of us have dropped out of the Oscar watching game, right?
Yeah, I mean, the Oscars used to be a very, very big event. And also, I think they also kept the speeches now to a certain limit also.
Absolutely. That was part of my video, was they've cut that down where they've literally have now 90 seconds from the time that name comes out of their mouth to get on stage, get your award, get the speech done, and book it on off. And yes, they are supposed to actually cut them off this year.
Oh, so that means they want to limit the political stuff that people say. So they can have, so they just pretty much go up there, say thank you to their family, God, whatever, their producers and things like that, and get out.
Right.
Now that could actually help them in the long term. Because I know now, man, I don't know if it's necessarily Oscars or whatever, because I don't watch any of these award shows anymore, It's become like, Trump this, Trump that. I'm like, I don't want to hear that stuff. If I'm watching an award show, I just want to see, who's the best, Denzel Washington go up and get his award for best actor and, thank his family, thank his coworkers. That's it. I don't need I don't need to know where you stand politically.
Well, I've said before, this, I lean left.
Yeah.
Social justice warriors are somewhere else. Like they need to create some kind of a party beyond the left. Okay.
Because they've been associated with the left.
I got a lot of friends that consider themselves to be on the left, and they think those people are effing crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, they think they're nuts. They're like, this is not what my party is. This is not what we signed on for. We used to be the party of the blue collar worker, the factory worker, et cetera, et cetera. The military, all that. These social justice warriors have basically made our entire party look like shit.
Yeah.
Because they've started, they've taken all these causes, and it's like, what are you doing? You're not. I'm sorry. I'm fitting to offend some folks. Caitlyn Jenner is not a damn hero.
Yes, and
let me she's not a hero. That. I'm sorry.
I'll never forget that. I was actually in the barber shop, and ESPN, they have been so woke the last 10 years or so. I mean, it became CNN, ESPN. That's what it was. And I remember sitting in the barbershop and I was like, you guys actually gave Bruce Jenner a Courage Award over the girl that actually, the basketball player, I can't remember her name. And she had died of cancer, but she inspired so many people.
Right.
You mean to tell me
it was
Bruce Jenner?
It was insulting.
It was ridiculous. And I remember Brett Favre was sitting in the audience. All these people were standing up clapping, and the camera was on Brett Favre. And Brett Favre was just kind of just sitting there really?
He's thinking, I wish I was on my tractor right now.
I think he actually stood up, but you can tell that he really didn't want to. But I don't remember. I have to go back and look at that. But that's how bad ESPN got. Now they pretty much got rid of a lot of the SJWs that was there, and they're trying to get back on track with the new president and everything. But yeah, but that's how bad it's gotten.
It's ridiculous. It is.
Yeah.
Oh.
Whew.
And Mara J said, missed the notification. Oh, that's YouTube. I can't help with the notifications. You know, if you do subscribe to this channel, make sure you do hit the notification, because more than likely you'll actually get the videos when they come up and everything.
About half of mine don't go out.
Yeah, it's weird.
You know?
Yeah. And guys, make sure you subscribe to Road Rants on Star Wars and Lord Callus also.
Lord Callus got some great theory content.
Lord Callus has great videos.
Oh, thank
really
you.
great videos.
Star Wars. It is grade A material over there.
Yeah, and I had to actually catch up on his videos because I wasn't getting notifications.
Wow.
I watched like 2 of your videos the other day. I was like, how did I miss these?
Yeah, where'd they come from?
Yeah.
Yeah. I went and watched one too, and I was like, why didn't I know about this video? Yeah. Let's see. We've got Dave said they should have Bruce Jenner in the next swimsuit issue.
Oh my God. How did I gonna lie? That picture was so cringeworthy when he was on in the bathing suit or whatever. I can't remember.
Dude, I can remember him. I'm old enough to remember his ass on.
Was that on Sports
Celebrity sports stars or whatever? You remember when they used to have the celebrity games on TV where it was like a mini Olympic competition only for celebrities?
I think so.
This was on network TV. Oh, Battle of the Network Stars is what it was called. And it was like big rating draw back in like the late 70s, early 80s. And Bruce Jenner was always around that whole thing, you know? It's just weird. I'm sorry. I hope that doesn't offend anybody,
but you know, I actually never heard of I think when Bruce Jenner won the Olympics, I was just being born. But I had never heard of Bruce Jenner until like he got around the Keeping Up with the Kardashian thing. Even during the O.J. Simpson trial, you never heard of Bruce Jenner because he was always kind of in the background. And I think even on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, he really didn't even want to be on TV, because I never really watched that show, but the times I did, he looked like he didn't even want to be on camera.
Yeah, I know. I agree. My wife loved those shows, so sometimes that means and when I would see him, he was always in the back. He was like,
The Kardashians, you mean?
Yeah.
My wife will watch it from time to time. My stepdaughters love that stuff, man.
No, it's not for me. I mean,
no, I can't do it.
I respect them for making money. I mean, Kylie Jenner is 21 years old, and she has like a $900 million company.
Yeah.
Like 2 years. That's mad respect right there.
Yeah.
You know, I can't even hate on that. I mean, Facebook didn't even get that big, I think, that fast. I mean, Mark Zuckerberg.
Crazy. She's the youngest and the richest of them all.
Yeah. And she sells like lipstick and stuff, and I didn't even know because I never see any commercials for it. So, but her mom is a great businesswoman. Her mom is like the key to, you know, pretty much all of them, you know, making big time money. You know, because once she got divorced from Robert Cup, actually, when she got with Bruce Jenner, I think Bruce Jenner was like really down in the pits because, you know, he's like an ex-Olympic athlete, and ex-Olympic athletes don't really last long. And she pretty much was like his business manager, and, you know, he was doing like exercise equipment and stuff like that. And she really helped him, you know, kind of get successful. But I think over the years, you kind of knew that they were going to divorce and go apart, though.
Wes the Remote says, great job covering Captain Marvel, John.
Thank you so much. We got 2 videos up. The last video like really took off. It was a natural surprise, to be sure. But
our boy D. Carey says the crying game all over again. And Dave says, but the guy from the Crying Game was passable.
I never saw the Crying Game.
I didn't see it either. Well, that was a big deal when that hit. God, that was all over the place.
Revan says, "I wish Larson would just stop making a fuss about her old breakup." Well, who was that? I mean, honestly, to tell you the truth, I never even heard of Brie Larson before Captain Marvel. I really didn't know who she was, what she was about. Then I found out she actually won an Oscar for a movie that I never seen or heard of. So, I mean, have you guys heard about her before, Captain Marvel?
No, this was the first I'd seen her. Never heard of her.
She won an Oscar for something, and I was actually watching a trailer for Captain Marvel, and I was like, man, how did she get this role? She seems so miscast. She's so dull. I was like, man, she must be miscast. And I had people telling me, oh, she won an Oscar. I was like, she did? What? I didn't even know.
She was starring as she was playing a piece of lumber, wood. She did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, she very well may be a good actress, but I really don't know. I mean, something. I mean, I was gonna go watch this movie for Samuel L. Jackson. I wasn't going to watch it for her.
Right.
I mean, and then at that, I wonder, why hasn't Samuel L. Jackson got a Nick Fury movie? Yeah. That's what I'm waiting on.
I'm hoping for
it'll probably come. I mean, considering that, I mean, they're sort of just giving everybody break-offs, so it'll probably come.
I think that's gonna end up being one of your Marvel streaming series events.
Could be. Yeah,
could be. But there was always a rumor for years about a Nick Fury movie, but kept waiting, and it never happened. But I know that this is supposed to be the final phase of this version of the MCU.
Right.
And then they're going to go into the new phase. I mean, I'm really hoping that they get a Samuel Jackson to do. First of all, I want him to do a Mace Windu movie foremost. And then, have him do a Nick Fury movie. Cool. So Disney, if you listen, I know you watch my live stream because I'm that popular. Get Samuel L. Jackson back in Star Wars. Give him a standalone movie. Give him a Nick Fury movie. Kathleen Kennedy, Kevin Feige, listen to me. I mean, you guys are always emailing me and everything, asking me for advice. You don't listen to me, but I'm giving you free advice here. Get Samuel L. Jackson a Mace Windu movie and a Nick Fury movie.
I really hope, speaking about Mace Windu, I really hope that episode 2 from Theory, that he does justice. I hope that he does that differently. He doesn't just have Vader face off with Mace and then Mace lose the battle or something. You know what I mean? Like for this next film that he's got going on, I'm really curious about how he's going to have that play out.
Yeah, I think that eventually in this series, because he has like the whole series already written, I think that Mace Windu is going to eventually die in his series. I mean, hopefully not in the second episode, maybe like the third or fourth, so he can kind of center his whole movie around him. But I don't know if you guys saw Star Wars Theory's new video. He had to release a little teaser today of Mace Windu.
Yeah, I didn't see it today, but I saw the video.
Like a 5-second thing. It's like Samuel L. Jackson, I'm back, beep beep. But he did say something is coming like in June of this year. I don't know if he's actually talking about the actual trailer or something, because he actually put up another video saying that he actually turned down 2-bit sponsors.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Episode 2, but I think he's going to get a bit sponsor coming here soon. But I think he didn't pretty much agree with the product. I respect him for that. He wants to make sure that everything aligns up with his values and his vision and things like that. He said it was a betting company that he
one was a betting, one was a casino. Yeah, so I mean, you got to be careful who you get in bed with.
Right. But I can't wait to see episode 2. I wish that he just had such a bit sponsor to where he can make the entire movie, because technically all of these episodes are going to be one movie. He said that once he gets them all done, he was going to release it all as one complete movie. So I'm assuming that's probably like 2 hours or so. but he's gonna need a lot of money.
Yeah, but if he keeps them broke up, we can keep doing reactions to every part that comes out.
Yeah. See, but when he did the first one, I didn't do a reaction with the actual video. I just kind of.
Oh, you didn't?
No,
Wow.
I just talked in front of the camera.
I think that's my largest video ever now.
Really?
It's neck and neck with my reaction to Ivan Ortega's Last Jedi trailer.
Yeah, I think my biggest one is actually the one when he got copyrighted, because I got like 8,500 views. No, actually, a video I did in November about episode 9 that has like 9,300 views. But the new video I got may actually break them all. I have to see. I haven't checked. But this is going to be
Captain Marvel is at 34% right now on Rotten Tomatoes.
Wow. And I think
when is it releasing? March what?
No, it's going to be. Oh yeah, it is March.
Yeah, it's what, March 8th?
Let me see here.
Like that. Because I marked that as the it looks like I marked that as the line of demarcation on a episode 9 trailer. I said if it's not attached to Marvel, we won't see it. Yeah,
March 8th is when it's going to be released. So that is just under. That's next Friday. Actually, it's released. Yeah, I mean, I want to see it, but I'm not going to see it on that principle. I want to see it because I'm such a huge Samuel L. Jackson fan, and I like Jude Law. I think Samuel L. Jackson is going to steal the show in this.
I wanted to see it because
I'm just about the lore. I just like
and Samuel.
Go ahead.
Go for it, man.
No, I was just going to say it's just a shame because that there's so much controversy surrounding it, because for me it's really just about the lore, just the same as Star Wars. It's connected for me, or I like them because they connect the dots. So coming from the last Avengers that we just came out, and now we saw at the end, right? They pick up the phone. They're supposed to be dialing Captain Marvel, and then we get the Captain Marvel movie, and then we go into Endgame. So for me, that's what it. I have to like look forward to, and then you get all of this BS surrounding it. It just taints it.
And I actually tend to think they sort of they cleverly tried to get this character attached to the end of Infinity War, and then right before Endgame comes out. I mean, it's a pretty clever way to try to worm your way into $1 billion film. I just don't think it'll work now. I think there's been too much bad pub.
Then that's a problem, because if she is in fact in Endgame and Captain Marvel flops, then what does that do to Endgame?
Right.
Yeah, that's my concern right there.
Luckily, Endgame's like far as production's already done and everything, and signed, sealed, delivered. But if in her mouth, how much float over you're going to start seeing on Avengers, I don't know. If I was Kevin Feige, I'd be assembling the Avengers and saying, you need to keep your damn mouth shut.
Exactly.
Cindy says Brie Larson graduated from the Kristen Stewart acting school. And just a little bit of housekeeping here, guys. This channel is almost closing in on 900 subs. Thank you so much. I'm at 880 subs, so I'm almost there. Nice. Secondly, I did just start a blog. It's released right now. It's in the description. Check it out. And I do have links to Lord Callus and Rodecaster on Star Wars channel, plus a few other channels on there. So that content is out there. There's a few articles. I actually haven't written any articles yet. My assistant R2D2 is writing the articles. I'm just kind of going over it. I'm not much of a writer, but I do know the Star Wars lore, so I'm kind of helping, with the continuity of stuff. So check that out. Brand new. We're going to try to grow the blog on that. And my podcast channel is coming really, really soon. So stay tuned for that. So back to the topic at hand. Oh, somebody says Rotten Tomato score is now at 33%. What do you guys think it's going to do on its opening weekend now, based off of these Rotten Tomato scores?
It's kind of weird. I did see an darkhorizons.com posted an article, I think it was Friday, that actually had the box office predictions. He had an article 2 weeks ago that said they had dropped to $100 million.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be like 170, right? That's what they're thinking at first.
He just posted an article where he said now the predictions are starting to go back up. Now it's trending back towards 120 million for the opening.
Are we talking Thursday through Sunday? Or are we talking Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Probably.
Because are they doing a?
I would think they would be talking Thursday previews through Sunday night is what that'll be. And for clarification, Solo ended up doing 84. So and
that was 84 in empty theaters.
Yeah.
Because the theater I was in was pretty empty. I mean, I don't
I think there were 3 people when I went and saw it.
Wow. But you live in the country though. I mean, I live in Houston. I was in a Houston movie theater.
But by comparison, I mean, the theaters were sold out for the Force Awakens, and even when I went to see like the Force Awakens for like the 4th time, like 6 weeks after like a Saturday morning, that theater still had was 3/4 of the way full. So, I mean, wow. And I saw Solo 3 days after it came out.
I saw Solo on that Thursday night, and it was like me and 3 other people just praying that it didn't suck in there. It's crazy because, like I said before, my whole family, we go. It's been like since Phantom Menace. It's just been something sort of tradition that we do as a family. Like I'm talking me, my wife, my kids, my oldest brother, his kids, my mother, I have 3 brothers, and we all go. It's like an event for us. And they didn't go to Solo, because of all of the BS with The Last Jedi. That was the last one that we saw, that we went to like that tradition. Last Jedi killed it. I still went to Solo, but they didn't. We're not giving them we're not giving them any money. I said, oh damn, all right, I guess I'll thug it out by myself.
I think I saw Solo Friday, and I knew something just wasn't right. When I went to the movie theater, it just didn't feel like a Star Wars event. Mm-hmm. It felt like any other movie, and that's not the feeling I get. Even when I went and saw The Force Awakens, that felt like a Star Wars event. When I went and saw The Last Jedi, actually, when I saw The Force Awakens first, it wasn't one of those deals where you can actually select your seats, so you pretty much had to get there early. But The Last Jedi, you actually selected your seats, so you really didn't have to, wait outside. But going into the theater, sitting in your seats and waiting for the previews and waiting for, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, that the hype was there. But when I saw Solo, it just wasn't there. It just wasn't there at all.
It had that Last Jedi haze over it.
it really did. I mean, when I went and saw Rogue One, I was like, I'm like, this was hype too. I went to The Last Jedi. That was like a 10 o'clock showing. It was really late at night. And me and my brother went, and we were like hyped to see it. But Solo is you may be right. It was that Last Jedi haze clouding that movie, and it just didn't feel right. And considering there was only like 15 people in the theater,
I told my wife, I said, we liked the movie. My wife liked it even more than I did. But it was I felt dirty while I was going to see it. I did and I remember walking out of there, and number one, I was like, I was mad at Disney because I was like, look what you did. Because what you have seen is, especially if you look through like comment sections, it's a movie that's getting a bit of a cult following now. That it's like hit digital and Netflix and blah and blah and blah. But my wife said, look what Disney's done. There's nobody 3 days after release. I said, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, even the Blu-ray digital release of Solo, there was no anticipation for it because usually you find out pretty early when it's coming out, and you're like, all right, this is this Star Wars movie is coming out. I can get it digitally early, and if I want the Blu-ray, I can order it later. With Solo, it was kind of like, But when I got Infinity War, I was like hyped to get the digital copy of Infinity War. I mean, as soon as the day it came out, I was at work. I ordered it, went home. Me and my wife watched it, and just loved it, man. Infinity War. Actually, I got to ask you, Rhodes, where does Infinity War rank on your all-time movies? We completely missed that movie, and it was right there.
I don't know yet. And for clarification, I mean, I've seen it like 6 or 7 times now, and it's epically great. I just don't know where to put it yet.
It is tough. I haven't seen it that much. I think I've seen it 4 times.
And maybe too, because I'm sort of, I think a lot of times the movies that make our top, 20, 25, 30 movies of all time, so many of them have that connection to our younger years, which is sort of a hard nut to crack through, we don't want to kick any of those movies out to bring in a movie that just came out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we've got that sort of, saw it as a kid or saw it as a, while you was in junior high or high school or something, you remember it being so fun to go. Kind of like Tombstone and, some of those kind of movies that I really love. Terminator 2, we was talking about the other day.
I still can't believe that you have The Force Awakens over Terminator 2. Guys, in case you don't know, Road Rants on Star Wars.
Okay, here we go.
He actually has The Force Awakens over Terminator 2 on his all-time favorite movies list.
For sure.
To me,
come at
utter blasphemy.
Come at me.
Lord Callis, would you have The Force Awakens over that?
Hey, no, wait.
You're asking the Star Wars guy. So for me, I go the only ones that I think that I would ever put beyond the Star Wars is Godfather and Godfather 2. Those are the only 2 that would ever.
You didn't. It's so great, man. Godfather 2 is in.
Yeah, they're the only ones.
Hey, listen. Lost in that statement. Don't gloss over it. Now is the fact that he just told you he puts them Star Wars movies.
It's because when I'm saying like my all-time favorite, that means like if somebody says to me, listen, for the rest of your life, you can only watch these top 5 movies.
That's right.
I would, So,
but you know what? T2's also not in my. I don't think I had it in my top 5. Don't make me go pull my. Don't make me go pull my list up.
Oh, pull up your list, man, because you got The Force Awakens, and there was some other controversial things that you had in your top 20 list. And actually, Creed 2,
I think Tarantino got a lot of love in that list too.
I'll tell you this, man. If you guys haven't seen Creed 2, you can download it now too. I got it on Amazon. Yeah. That is a very, very good movie. Not as good as Creed 1, but I really did like it, and I watched it again, and I'm on my 3rd time watching. I'm starting to love that movie even more. That is such a good movie, man. Really, really good movie. You got to watch Creed 2. I mean, Stallone is Stallone. Michael B. Jordan. Actually, you know what, Lord Callis, do you like Michael B. Jordan better in Creed 2, or do you like him better in Black Panther? It's a tough
Ooh.
call, man. He was so
Yeah.
great in both.
Yeah.
And it's so two different roles.
Exactly, because he's a villain in one,
Right.
and then he's the hero in the other. So
Right.
it's tough. Yeah.
I mean, I'm tempted to say Creed because he's definitely more of the star of that movie. You get more into him than him as Killmonger. But
Yeah.
man, oh, it's tough, man. It is really, really tough.
Okay, I got this list up while you're
Okay, start reading off your blasphemy.
talking all that trash. while you're talking all that smack over there. Number 1, Empire Strikes Back. Number 2, The Dark Knight. Number 3, Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Okay.
Number 4, Tombstone.
Okay.
Number 5, A New Hope. Number 6, Return of the Jedi.
And just stop right there. That's like 5 George Lucas movies right there. Just throwing that out there. That's good, man. George Lucas is the best. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. Number 7. Where did I get to? Number 5? Number
You can start at 5 again. That's fine.
Okay. 5, A New Hope. 6, Return of the Jedi. 7, The Force Awakens.
Blasphemy.
Number 8, Unforgiven. 9, Terminator 2. 10, Rocky 4.
I love Rocky 4.
Yeah, I do too. It's awesome. Temple of Doom is 11. Reservoir Dogs is 12. 13, Casino. 14, Friday the 13th, Part 6.
And just so you guys know, Road
Which one is 6?
I'm horror guy.
Yeah, I'm a big Jason dude. So
which one is 6? Because after 2, they all sort of bleed together for me.
Ooh, it's time for you to get a marathon going because that is the incorrect answer.
Hey, Mara Jade agrees with me. She says Force Awakens over T2, blasphemy.
Yeah, I saw that.
What number
where am I at? 15, Rocky. 16, True Romance. 17, The Rock. 18 is Pulp Fiction. 19 is Inglourious Bastards.
I love that movie.
And
I like that movie.
20 is the original Karate Kid.
You know what though? I actually like Valkyrie more than Inglourious Bastards. Valkyrie is a really good movie.
I didn't hear any Marvel movies on there. I heard the DCU, but I didn't hear a DCU. Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, maybe this. I didn't realize
Superman 2.
Y'all don't know this. I'm sort of a I'm kind of a DCEU guy.
Mm.
I'm a DC person over Marvel. I really am.
You know, I care more. I'm going to tell you, I care more about Superman and Batman than I do any Marvel characters. That's just keeping it real.
And to me, that's not even close. Superman and Batman are so far above any of the MCU characters.
Well,
it's not close.
I'm going to tell you, for me, I grew up on that Super Friends Saturday morning cartoon show that was literally on for like 12 years. Saturday morning. So that was a big deal. That was Batman, Superman every Saturday morning for 12 years in a row, you know?
Yeah.
So
Wonder Woman.
I just love that, you know? Wonder Woman, Aquaman, you know? And eventually when they got around to that, where it was basically the Justice League versus the Legion of Doom, boy, they did that for 2 seasons. And man, I've got that on DVD. It is so dope. It is insane.
What number?
I still watch that once a year.
What number are you on now?
I'm done.
He did his 20, yeah.
That was 20.
You got the 30? You got 30?
I've got my honorable mentions.
Okay, what's your honorable?
The ones that just missed the cut.
Okay.
Smokey and the Bandit. Jackie Brown.
Oh,
Predator.
Whoa, time out. Wait, time out. Predator needs to be in the top 20. You have to kick somebody out of the top 20.
Man, I ain't kicking nobody out of the top 20. You know what? I take that back. I take that back. Yeah, I think I got to have Predator in there instead of Inglourious Bastards.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. Karate Kid Part 2, Goonies, 310 to Yuma, Deliverance, which you've never even seen.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Halloween, the original, not that piece of shit that came out this last year.
I liked the last Halloween, but I really liked the original.
Which was my most anticipated movie of the year. Thanks a lot, Danny McBride. Oh yeah, that man. I walked out of there. I said, "Y'all got rid of all that Halloween canon for a mediocre Halloween movie." I appreciate that. Thanks for scrapping it all.
So, with you being a horror guy, I'm surprised that you don't have any of the alien movies in your top 20.
I've got one left, and that's Terminator Salvation, which I think is highly underrated.
Oh yes, it is definitely underrated. That movie's better than T3.
Oh yeah.
Not T2, but man, it was so cool actually getting a chance to see the T600s, the T700s. It was really good. I really liked it.
And when that door came up and Arnold was standing there, you know, you was like,
yes.
What?
Yes, I was. The only thing I wish they didn't do, I wish they didn't have like a Skynet. I think that's one of the things about Terminator Genesis I didn't like was actually seeing Skynet. You know, I like Skynet just being this, you know, this cyber space thing, central core. I don't need humans talking as Skynet. You know, it came off really bad in Genesis. Not so bad in Salvation, but I don't know why Salvation gets the hate. I really like Salvation. That's a chance we got to see the Future Wars. And I really did like that. I wish they would have kept going with that trilogy.
Well, you can tell
that movie would have been even better if it was an R-rated movie.
You know, I like some I like some Christian Bale movies too. So I've got The Dark Knight, and then on my cut list I've got Terminator Salvation. And I've actually got like a master list with movies that still didn't even make honorable mention.
Yeah.
You know, but came close, like Batman Begins, like was just, I guess really and truly it's an honorable mention too.
Yeah. What about Frailty?
Yeah, it's a good flick, but yeah,
Christian Bale was awesome in that movie. He was great in that movie.
It is a good movie. I mean, you can't sleep on that movie. It's good.
As a horror guy, Rhodes, where was Silence of the Lambs, or where was Saw?
Yes, Silence of the Lambs.
No.
So I watched
you're a horror guy.
No, I am.
The Silence of the Lambs isn't necessarily a horror movie. It's definitely more suspenseful.
And psychological horror, right?
Yeah.
If we're expanding the list, like if I can go from 20 to like 40, Silence of the Lambs would make it. Okay.
You know what's funny about Silence of the Lambs? The movie is so regarded as one of the best ever, but if you read the Thomas Harris books, it's the weakest one. Red Dragon is the best book in that series. It is absolutely amazing. That and Hannibal. And then Silence of the Lambs, if you ask me. But the Hannibal movie, especially the end, was not the same as the book. The end,
I liked Hannibal, though. I did.
I did. I liked the movie. But if you read the book is way different at the end, much more in depth. Actually, him and Clarice, he shows him cutting off his hand. That doesn't happen in the book. Him and Clarice end up leaving away as lovers, and they actually eat. What's the guy's name? The guy that Ray Liotta played. They actually ate his brains together, and he was using his classical conditioning on her, and trying to recreate his dead sister from when the Nazis basically killed her in Lithuania. It was deep, man. That book is so amazing. Now, young Hannibal, that's different.
Thanks for joining, Sebastian. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
He's heading out.
Oh, okay. Have a good night. So let's see what's going on here in the chat. So we kind of neglected the chat here a little bit here. Let me see if I can find. Shadow 3311 says, "I'll give up my seat to some LGBTQ female. Their target audience." Yeah, I saw Rotten Tomatoes at 33. Sendave thinks 40 to 60 million for the weekend for. Are you talking about weekend or opening day for Captain Marvel? Because I don't see
there's
40 million for sure.
Way too many casual fans. That
Yeah.
movie's gonna make 100
Yeah,
million.
a lot of the casual fans aren't keeping up with the news and stuff like that
at all. Yeah.
Yeah, and because I was watching Jeremy's video on this, and he was actually saying, you know, a lot of people that don't keep up the news, you know, like we do, they're going to go see it because it's an MCU movie, and the MCU has been so great that this is probably just going to be a blip for the casual fans, and they probably don't even know about it. So some straight white dude is going to go see the movie, not knowing that Brie Larson said she didn't want them to see it.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I've got a client that his two young boys are big MCU. So, I mean, they're definitely going to be there, you know, opening weekend. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll wait till it's on Netflix. But I just hope that I've heard this. Somebody was actually saying that in order to really understand what's going to happen in Endgame, you're going to have to kind of watch Captain Marvel, which I don't really, since I'm not going to see Captain Marvel, first of all, I don't want Captain Marvel to ruin Endgame. Endgame is my most anticipated movie of the year. She cannot ruin Endgame for me. She better not ruin Endgame for me. Because I think Endgame has the potential to be an all-timer just like Infinity War. Since they shot those movies back to back.
Yeah.
Mary J says, "What about Snatch?" Yeah, that's a good flick. I like Snatch.
Snatch, I haven't seen Snatch.
Yeah, it's got Brad Pitt in it. Yeah, it's a good flick.
What about
Snatch,
The Blob?
The what?
The Blob.
The Blob? No, I'm out on The Blob. I've seen it, but yeah, I reckon it wouldn't crack my top 1,000.
Or what was that? The Fog. Remember The Fog?
I heard of the movie. I seen The Mist.
Now I'm going to tell you one that like would get top 40 consideration. Be something like The Thing.
I love that
with Kurt Russell. You know, Big Trouble in Little China is going to be up there. I
love that movie
somewhere. Yeah,
me and my wife love Big Trouble in Little China. Let me ask you this: what about, since you're a horror movie guy, what about Interview with the Vampire? I'm a big Anne Rice fan. I've read every single book.
It's funny. I don't really watch that through the eyes of a horror fan. More of a drama fan.
It is more of a drama. Definitely not horror.
Yeah, it's and Lord Callis brought up Saw earlier. Yeah, Saw's one of my favorites. I mean, it is one of my favorites. That ending is just
crazy.
God,
crazy.
And I was sitting in the theater. I stood up out of my seat in the theater and was like, "What?" And that music was so off the chain. I mean, hey, when that YouTuber called me out and I made that video clapping back at his ass, at the end of it, I put that ending scene of that music playing and the door slamming, game over. I was like, dude, get you some of that.
We got some Big Trouble in Little China fans in here.
Oh, yeah.
D. Pensy says Jack Burton all the way. Mary J says it's all in the reflexes.
Yeah.
I tell you, man, that movie has some of the best movie lines of all time. You know, remember when Jack Burton and Wayne Chi, they're about to get hit by those trucks and they kind of jump out the way? Jack Burton gets up and says, "Son of a bitch must pay." I love that line. That is one of the best lines in all of the movies. Henry Swanson's my name, and excitement's my game.
I'm going to throw this out because all these years I always said, if Harrison Ford never played Han, who in the world else might have been able to pull that off? And the only actor I can ever come to is Kurt Russell. That's the only.
Yes, because Kurt
and
Russell,
it's because
his Jack Burton is very similar.
Very
to Han
similar.
Solo.
That's right. That's right. It's very smart ass, sarcastic, suave. Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Harrison Ford didn't do it, that he probably would have got Richard Dreyfuss to do it. I wouldn't have been surprised.
Oh.
Even though I don't see Richard Dreyfuss as Han Solo, but all those guys from his earlier movies, it would have been somebody.
So that would have changed the whole dynamic of who Han Solo is to see Richard Dreyfuss.
Wild.
That would
Now that I think about it, wasn't what's his name?
Carey says Al Pacino was in the running.
No, I was thinking of
well, it came very close. Tom Selleck almost got it.
Yeah, Tom Selleck, Smokey and the Bandit. What's the guy's name?
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds. Wasn't he in the running too for Han Solo?
Man, I just don't think I could. And I'm a Burt guy, but I just don't know that I can see that.
No, Burt Reynolds was supposed to be Rocky. They wanted him to do Rocky. I cannot see him doing Rocky. That. No, based on Stallone, I can't see it.
Yeah. In fact, Kurt Russell auditioned for Star Wars. His audition tapes are out there. I
saw that.
Yeah.
Was he reading for Han Solo?
I think he was reading for Luke, but I'm not positive.
Luke.
Yeah. D. Penzick says Perry King was also in for Han. Y'all even remember who Perry King was? Yeah, he was a TV actor. A real name TV actor back in the 80s.
Didn't Parker Stevenson, didn't he audition for Star Wars?
No.
I think he did.
Parker Stevenson, who is he married to? Was he married to Cindy Williams from Laverne and Shirley? Because I know she auditioned for Princess Leia. Yeah. God, Perry King is 70 now.
Yeah, all of our heroes are getting old, man.
Oh, okay. Riptide. You remember the TV show Riptide? It was a big hit back in the 80s. Yeah.
Parker Stevenson, he was married to Kirstie Alley.
Oh, yeah, okay. I knew he had some kind of a famous wife. I just couldn't remember who it was.
And Kirstie Alley was in Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan, the best Star Trek movie.
Yeah.
Hey,
I believe she's 68.
Name two names you did not think would come up during this stream: Perry King and Kirstie Alley.
Yeah. I can't believe Kirstie Alley is 68 years old. She doesn't look that old.
Yeah.
She was really good in Star Trek 2, The Wrath of Khan. That's my favorite Star Trek movie, I think.
I think that is most Trekkies' favorite Star Trek. Like Empire Strikes Back is most Star Wars fans, yeah.
Because the first Star Trek movie wasn't that good.
Yeah.
Man, I thought it was boring.
Yeah, it was. It was dry.
I'm sorry, Trekkies. I thought it was like paint drying. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And my sister is a big Trekkie. My older sister's a big Trekkie, and she doesn't like Star Wars. So there you go.
And I like J.J. Abrams' first Star Trek movie, but
so did I.
I don't think anything can top Wrath of Khan. And I like Wrath of Khan. I like Search for Spock. I even like The Voyage Home. The Voyage Home was pretty good. It was a different Star Trek movie, and Spock it was kind of funny with Spock, since he had just been reborn again, and and he put the Vulcan net thing on that punker on the bus. I thought that was funny. He's playing all that loud music. I like that. I know some people really don't like the whole whale thing, but I think I was like 10 years old when that movie came out, and I enjoyed that movie. I really did. Let's see here. Any of these guys savvy English?
What does that mean?
I don't know. Al Pacino's Italian American.
Right.
But But
Yeah,
I'm
I
with
like
you.
I like JJ Star Trek. I said that when I walked out of there. I said, "Wow, that's the best Star Wars movie I've seen in years."
Everybody said that it felt more like Star Wars than Star Trek.
Most definitely. I mean, Chris Pine. I walked out of there and was like, "Yeah, man, he did a hell of a Han."
Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Since we brought up Big Trouble in Little China, there was a rumor that they're supposed to be rebooting that movie with The Rock. I hope that never happens. That movie should never be remade, man. It's perfect.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Rebooting which movie?
Big Trouble in Little China.
It's happening.
Oh,
I hope not, man. That movie is a classic, man.
That's The Rock's favorite movie.
Yeah, I'm a bit John Carpenter. I think John Carpenter is one of the most underrated filmmakers of all time. You know, he did Halloween, and he writes the music for all his movies. John Carpenter is a very good composer. You know, he did Halloween, Big Trouble in Little China, John Carpenter's Vampires. What else? What else he did? Just I'm tipping my tongue.
I'm gonna read this. Here, I got him. Do not sleep on the fact that he did Assault on Precinct 13. That is a badass old movie from the 70s.
I haven't seen that.
The Thing.
Yeah.
Did Christine about the car? Remember?
Oh yeah, I like that movie.
Prince of Darkness. Oh, here's one of my favorites. Rowdy Roddy Piper and They Live. You remember that? They Live. The Aliens versus Roddy Piper. You remember that from the WWF?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, where when he wore the shades, he could see who was alien and who wasn't. It's like
isn't that the Fifth Wave?
No. We're talking from 1988.
That's great. Yeah, I don't remember that movie.
They Live. Rowdy Roddy Piper and Keith David. Yeah.
Man, I gotta tell you, man, the 80s were so great for movies. The 80s are just amazing for movies. I love 80s movies because that was really before the CGI revolution. So when you actually saw movies, they were pretty much real sets and everything like that. I mean, all the best Rocky movies were in the 80s, you know? Like Clubber Lane. I love Rocky 3. Clubber Lane. Clubber Lane was the most charismatic. I can't even talk now. He was one of the best villains in the 80s. I mean, that one line he said, you know, the guy asked him, "What's your prediction for the fight?"
My prediction? Pain.
I love that line. And that's nobody knew Mr. T back then. You know, that was before the A-Team.
Yeah, you know? That was before what's his name was real big either.
Hulk Hogan.
What's his name? Hulk Hogan, yeah. What was his name? Luscious Lucius or something? Thunderlips.
No. The one, the only Thunderlips.
Yeah, did you see that Chris Hemsworth is going to play him in a biopic?
Yes, he's playing Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
I guess he has the sides for it. I don't know. I'm so used to hearing Chris Hemsworth with his British accent. I can't see him pulling off Hulk Hogan. This is going to be on Netflix, by the way. But I think it'll be interesting because he has like the blonde hair. He's buffed up, but he's not Hulk Hogan buffed up. So he's probably going to have to bulk up a little more. And from what I understand about this movie, is only going to take place around like 1982 to 1984. So I don't even think he goes to the WrestleMania when he fought Andre the Giant. But I'm wondering, who would they get to play Andre the Giant? I'm pretty sure they're going to get somebody to play Andre the Giant. That's going to be tough to pull off right there.
Yeah.
Because Andre the Giant was actually truly a giant, you know, and he had this genetic disorder or something. I mean, the guy's hand was like bigger than my whole body. You know, I'm only 5'6".
Hey, John, I'm going to mute you real fast. I got to step out a half sec.
Okay. Yeah, but I don't know. Can you see him actually playing Hulk Hogan, Lord Callis? It's just.
I think he'll step up to the plate. I think a better question is what you just said. Who would they get to play Andre? I mean, that would be a tough call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would actually get Vince McMahon to play himself. I really would. Vince McMahon doesn't look that much different. You can
Right,
just
he aged well.
de-aging on him a little bit. Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm wondering who would actually play him. Man, the 80s was so great. That's when wrestling.
My favorite was what you call it. The Ultimate Warrior was my favorite.
Yes, I love it.
Oh man,
I remember when he beat Hulk Hogan. I don't remember which WrestleMania it was, but that was all out
crazy. Yeah.
And you would never think all this stuff is like made up. I mean, they were just going toe to toe.
God, it was crazy. Those were good times, though, man.
Yeah,
Ultimate.
Mean Gene Oakland. I think somebody can pull off a Mean Gene. Somebody can do that.
Yeah.
But the Ultimate, the Macho Man.
Macho Man. My best friend, that was his favorite. He would, he was always doing that.
He was snapping into a Slim Jim.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, DK says Macho Man was his favorite.
Yep.
Yeah, and some of these guys actually did movies too. I know that Roddy Piper did a movie. Hulk Hogan did quite a few movies. You know, he did Suburban Commando. One movie I really liked. I don't know if a lot of people liked it. I love No Holds Barred.
Yeah.
With him and Tiny Zeus Lister. I think that was my favorite Hulk Hogan movie because he was essentially playing Hulk Hogan
himself. Yeah.
Yeah, but he called himself Rip. You know, and the guy that played his brother was in another movie that I really liked that I think is very, very underrated with Cuba Gooding Jr. What is it called? Story of Crows. Is that the name of it?
I didn't see that.
I want to make sure I got the name right.
I'm back.
Hey, you remember that movie with Cuba Gooding Jr.? Was it called A Story of Crows?
The Story of Crows. And I like some Cuba Gooding Jr., but I don't know that I remember that.
Hold on, let me find the exact name of it.
What was it about?
Oh, A Murder of Crows. That is one of the most underrated movies I've ever seen. The movie is about Cuba Gooding Jr. and he's a lawyer, and at the beginning of the movie, he's defending his client, and he knows that his client is guilty. So he basically like turns against his client while he's on the stand, and he ends up becoming disbarred because he knew in his heart that his client was guilty of murder. So he becomes like this. He has like this boating company. He just boats people around, and he meets this guy, and this old man, and he develops like a friendly relationship with this guy. And this old man shows him this book that he's writing and things like that. So the old man dies, and Cuba Gooding Jr. takes the book and puts his name on it, and he becomes this best-selling author.
Wow,
they made a different book. It was called The Words.
No. It gets worse.
Oh,
this is a murder book, and apparently that book was actually real murders that happened, and so he's like on the run from the law and everybody. And it comes out in the end that the old man that died, he was his actor, and he was all these men of different faces and stuff like that. And at the end, Cuba Gooding Jr. is about to get arrested by the police, and the guy is there that basically set him up and everything. And Cuba Gooding Jr. says, I'm not innocent, but you're guilty of something like that. And he ends up killing the guy. He ends up going to jail. But they actually found out that the guy that actually, the old man actually did all the murders and stuff like that. So but Cuba Gooding Jr. ends up in jail at the end. It is a very, very good movie. Highly underrated.
That's got one of my favorite 90s actors, Tom Berenger, in it.
Yeah, Tom Berenger.
Remember Tom Berenger? He was in The Substitute the original one, the one that was a hit.
Yeah.
Major League 1 and 2. You ever seen Major League? Aren't you a baseball fan? Yeah.
Yeah, and Mark Pellegrino, that's the guy that was in No Holds Barred. He plays the guy that did all of the murders and stuff like that. So that movie's so good. He plays Professor Arthur Corvus. But it's so good, man. You got to see it. I mean, it has a 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
Wow,
It
that came out in
98? Yeah, it came out in 1998.
Wow.
And I saw that movie. I was like, man, this is good. I really, really enjoyed this movie. So you definitely got to check that out.
Yeah.
Cuba Gooding Jr., man, he's a very good actor, man. I can't believe this dude is 50. Cuba Gooding Jr. still looks like he's about 30.
I started that American Horror Story he was in, but I didn't finish it. I think I only got like 3 or 4 episodes in. I need to go back.
American Horror Story is very good, Rhodes.
Yeah.
Check out. I didn't watch all of the seasons. I watched the season with Lady Gaga wearing in the hotel with Kathy Bates. That was really good.
See,
that's some good horror stuff right there.
I've seen the first 3 seasons they did.
The season I'm talking about is about the vampires, but the vampires are kind of different because they don't have fangs and they don't bite people on the neck. They basically cut up people and then just drink their blood. So like Lady Gaga has like this ring that's kind of pointy and she just slashes people with it. Just a different take on vampires, but it's really good. It has Wes Bentley's the star that season. So definitely check that out.
Let's see. James Clark, what's up?
Says, oh, he's in here. Welcome, James Clark.
Yeah, he was in Shattered. Yeah, The Big Chill, talking about Tom Berenger.
Oh, okay.
Oh, one of my favorites. Last of the Dogmen. Unless I'm going nuts. Yeah. He starred in that. Man, that's a good movie. That's a Western.
D. Carey says, take your vitamins, Hulkamaniacs. I used to have that. I remember Rhodes, they used to have the Hulk Hogan workout kit. It had like blue dumbbells and it had a tape and everything in the 80s. It was telling Hulk Hogan fan, take your vitamins, say your prayers, and all this other stuff. I had that, man, because I was a huge Hulk Hogan fan. I love Hulk Hogan.
Man, I love Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. That was my dude.
Yeah.
God, I loved some wrestling when I was growing up.
Yeah. We got a local guy, Rhodes, in the WWE right now. He was Olympic wrestler. He's from Silsby. Mark.
Yeah.
Man, what's his name? Mark.
Yeah, my favorite of all time is down from Victoria. You know, the rattlesnake.
Yeah. Mark Henry. I couldn't think of his name.
Yeah.
Mark Henry. He's from Silsby.
I watched it. I watched it pretty close up until, I guess, probably about 8 or 10 years ago, and then I finally kind of checked out of it. But man, Monday and Thursday nights used to be a big deal around this house, and I was like, man, it's just never going to go back to being the same. Once the WWF Attitude thing was over, I was like, it's just not getting any better than this.
Jake the Snake.
Yeah.
D says Jake the Snake Roberts. Yeah.
A lot of these guys are dying, man. These guys want the juice so much. You know,
Stone Cold made his name off Jake the Snake, literally.
I wasn't a huge Stone Cold Steve Austin fan. I think
that's my guy. That's my all-time guy.
I think it kind of dropped off. I liked it the best when it was the WWF.
Yeah, I didn't.
Oh yeah.
Then they changed the name to WWE, and it was still okay. But once, like the mid to late 90s, once Goldberg pretty much left, then it was pretty much done. Then
it really jumped the shark about 2003, and then it was over. Yeah,
because The Rock was kind of out. Then he started making movies. I think The Rock was probably like the last superstar wrestler. I think
Jake the Snake Roberts was going around. He was doing this born again Christian deal back in the late 90s, like mid to late 90s, and he rolled into the Royal Rumble. No, not the Royal Rumble, King of the Ring, and Stone Cold was known as the Ringmaster back then.
Yeah.
And he was kind of feuding a little bit with Jake the Snake, and that's where Jake Roberts was beating people and quoting these Bible verses afterwards.
Huh.
Well, after Stone Cold at the time, Ringmaster, beat him at the King of the Ring, the infamous promo was cut, and he ad-libbed it when he said, Jake Roberts or whatever, blah, blah, blah. He said, you just tell him Austin 316 just whipped your ass. And that was the first time anybody had ever heard that. And he was stone cold like a month later. So it was pretty cool. That was like where that whole Austin thing was born. His real name is actually Steve Williams.
Really?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'm about to wrap this show up now. I'm about to release a video. Rian Johnson's Star Wars trilogy. Rhodes, I think Rhodes covered this yesterday on his video.
God.
So it looks like the production is happening.
Yeah,
At least
it's starting early production.
It's crazy though, because where did his movie go? He spent all of this time over the summer, getting what's the guy's name?
Daniel Craig.
Yeah, Daniel Craig, and then he's going to do this Knives Out movie. He tried to petition to get the backing. He's got all of that set, and he was supposed to be working on that before the trilogy.
Yeah.
So what happened with that?
He still is. He still is. What happened was back in October, Lucasfilm bought what they call a block of production names in the UK. And they bought two production names. One of them, they figure to be the Obi-Wan TV series, if they are not still working under the previous production name of Joshua Tree. The other one is for an undisclosed movie, but Fantatrax is swearing up and down that is the first movie of the Rian Johnson trilogy. However, they have bought a lot of these names in the past, and movies never saw the screen. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's sort of a common practice. They do it as a preemptive sort of strike to be able to reserve the studio over there, Pinewood. So where they do a bunch of their productions. So I swear if that. I don't think that movie ever sees the light of day. I just don't.
I hope not.
I don't think it happens.
I mean, even in my video, I was saying I hope this is not real. So we got the rookie critic here. He says, "Hey guys, I know he's been trying to make it on my stream for a while. So thank you for joining us. You're catching us here at the end." But yeah, I hope it doesn't happen. But I'm going to put out this video now. I still got to go and record another video for tomorrow. I've been putting up like 2 videos a day the last couple of days. So
yeah, see,
yeah. They're catching on. The YouTube algorithm loves me the last few days.
That's nice.
I'm trying to do 2 a day too.
Yeah, guys, make sure you subscribe to Lord Callus and to Road Rants on Star Wars. Good channels, a lot of good content. If you like horror stuff, Rhodes has pretty much combined all his channels into one now. And I'm going to try to branch out and do a lot more other content. I knew I was doing a lot of Star Wars for a while, and it wasn't always like that. So I'm going to try to catch up on the trending news and everything like that that's going on. But make sure you guys subscribe to them. Any other final words, guys?
I appreciate you having me again.
Yeah, anytime.
Absolutely. I love it. Fun.
Yep.
It's fun.
Yep. Well, guys, we are about to sign off. You folks have a wonderful evening.